Hey there, future fellow weird-ass black sheep. Welcome. What is happening? I don't know. I don't know what this is. Okay, I don't know what that is. I don't know how to end that. What is happening? What is this? Something happened. Print. I don't want to print. I want to cancel this. How do we cancel it? Cancel. No, is it? It's not cancelable. What the fuck? Oh, cancel. Ah. Anyway, welcome to the most offensive church this side of the universe, the party pit.
And what we do here in this most magnificent place, we read this great ass book. It's called God Said. Because he did not fucking say that. This is God's unofficial autobiography, Das Bible, as read by yours truly, the Saint of Awesome, your Superstone Sage, Saint Nikki K the Great. Ha ha. And I happen to be fucking wonderful. Yeah. So, I want to invite you into this maddening place. But first, we have to share the screen. The answer to that is no. Well, the answer to me right now, I'm doing this all wrong. What's happening? Hey, General Piggy! Welcome! Haha! I'm so glad you made it. And right on time. Because we are reaching the end of the story of Joe. And then we're going to be reading something called Ecclesiastes because Chris was like, I want to read that. And I was like, okay, we can read that after the story of Joe. We're just going to start reading this shit in stories so we can get the most out of it. No, this is the wrong one. Where the fuck am I at? Wait. Okay, so we're on chapter 42. Okay, so what had happened was the Pharaoh had a dream. It was like super elaborate, and it was like cows and corn, and some were fat and some were skinny. It was like a whole thing. So it turned out that Joe knew what it meant, but he had to be taken out of prison. So anyway, Joe knew what it meant. So the Pharaoh was like, you're in charge. And Joe was like, yeah, I'm in charge. Great. What do I do? So he made a bunch of storehouses and stored up all the food for when the famine comes. Yep. And that's where we left off and where we will be picking up. So come this way. I have everything you need to enjoy this story. I have cannabis. I have cigarettes. I have coffee. I have a chair with your name on it. I have cat beds and canine space. So bring your animals because I love them. They have good time. So come on in and have a seat and let's get to reading. So, all right, General Sammy. No, I'm just kidding. General Piggy, here we go. Yep. So, when Jacob saw that there was grain in Egypt, Jake said to his sons, "Why are you guys sitting there circle jerking? Shouldn't you be doing something about this problem that we have? Like, because we really have this problem and you guys are just sitting there useless. What am I supposed to do? I can't do anything. I'm like old as fuck and my legs don't work. So, I mean, I don't know that to be true that my legs don't work, but we're just going to pretend my legs don't work. So, you guys need to go do something about this problem that y'all are having that I'm involved in because I am also hungry. So, so go there and go to Egypt and get some bread. Okay. So Joe's 10 brothers went down to buy grain in Egypt, but Joseph did not send, or Jake didn't send Benjamin. Benjamin stayed back. And I forgot to mention this. Remember, before Rachel died, she had Ben Omni, which Jacob ends up calling Benjamin, and he is the baby brother. It's Joe and Ben were born by Rachel, Jake's absolute favorite wife of all the wives. It would be the only one he was married to if he wouldn't have got tricked by Laban and then tricked by Rachel and Leah because they were like, have sex with my maids for some reason. I don't know what happened, but it was a thing that happened. And I I don't even know how to explain it. But anyway, I forgot to mention about Benjamin the baby. Um, but Jacob did not send Joseph's brother Ben, for he said, lest something happened to him too, and then like all Rachel's kids are dead. That would suck. Now, Joe was governor over the land, and it was he who sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brothers came and did the face thing. And Joe saw his brothers and recognized him, but he acted as a stranger to them and spoke roughly to them. And he was like, "Hey, you guys, you guys are spies and shit. Yeah, that's what you are. You're a spy." And they was like, "We are not a spy." And he's like, "No, you're a spy." And then they were like, "There was 12 of us, but one of them died and the others at home with our father, who is the only one we have left." And then uh they were like, "We just want to buy some food." But he was like, "No, but you have to see, no, but you have come to see the nakedness of the land." And they were like, "The cat's at the door. 1 second. I hear you, jerk ass." I know. I hear you. I know. You just came in. You must be so cold. Yeah. Squeak. Squeak. No, don't squeak at me. I'm busy. Okay. So he was like, you guys have come to see the super nakedness of the land. Like, you guys want to see it for some reason. And they were like, no, no, that's not. And then Joseph said, it's just like I said, you are spies. In this manner, you shall be tested. By the life of Pharaoh, you shall not leave this place unless your youngest brother comes here. So Joe's trying to get a peek at Benjamin because he wants to make sure they didn't also try to kill Benjamin. You know, Joe's really smart. He's like, these motherfuckers tried to kill me. They'll definitely try to kill him because who else do they have? Yeah. So then Joe's like, I want to see your youngest brother. I don't believe you guys. I want to see your youngest brother. And bring your brother, and you shall be kept in prison. That your brother's more. Oh, wait. Unless your youngest brother. Send one of you, and let him bring your brother, and you shall be kept in prison. That your words may be tested to see whether there is any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely you are spies. So he put them all together in prison 3 days. Then Joe said to them the third day, do this and live, for I fear God. If you are honest men, let one of your brothers be confined to your prison house, but you go carry grain for the famine of your houses, and bring your youngest brother to me. So your words will be verified, and you shall not die. And they did so. Then they said to one another, man, this is because of what we did to Joe. Yep, this is. This is because of what we did to Joe. And Reuben was like, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? I think I told you, right? I think I told you don't do that to that little boy, but you guys didn't listen to me, and I think you suck for it, and this is what we get. But they did not know that Joseph understood them, for he spoke to them through an interpreter, and he turned himself away from them and wept. Then he returned to them again and talked with them. And he took Simeon from them and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph gave a command to fill their sacks with grain, to restore every man's money to his sack, and to give him provisions for the journey. Uh, for the journey. Thus he did for them. So they loaded their donkeys with the grain and departed from there. But as one of them opened his sack to give his donkey feed at the encampment, he saw his money, and there it was in the mouth of his sack. So he said, my money has been restored, and there it is in my sack. And then their hearts failed them, and they were afraid, saying to one another, what is this that God has done to us? Oh no. God did some shit. Mm. Then they went to Jacob, their father, in the land of Canaan, and told him all that had happened to them, saying, The man, the dude there wants us to bring back Benjamin or he's gonna kill Simeon. Something. And we have all of our money back and we need to go find out what's happening with that. And also there's a lot of stuff. Yeah. We don't know what's happening. And then it happened as they were emptying their sacks that surprisingly, each man bundle of money was in his sack. And then they and their father saw the bundles of money. They were afraid. And Jacob said, You have bereaved me. Joseph is no more. Simeon is no more. And now you want to take Benjamin. All these things are against me. Then Reuben spoke to his father, saying, Kill my two sons if I do not bring him back to you. Put him in my hands, and I will bring him back. And he said, No, 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 it's not happening. Because if he's left alone and calamity befall him among the way which you go, you would bring my gray hair down to, you will bring down my gray hair with sorrow to the grave. Okay, that's the end of chapter 43. What time is it? Oh, it hasn't even been that long. Imagine that. Swing on a spiral. Um, so General Piggy, are you still awake or did you fall asleep? What did you think about this? Because it's only you here. Miss Money hasn't showed up yet. Neither is Chris. But Chris might be asleep. He does electric work for the government. Or so he says. He probably just does electric work for the cable company. But either way, he's always doing electrical stuff. Or my cousin might show up. He hasn't been here a while. Okay. So, chapter 43, it says, Now, the famine was severe in the land, and it came to pass when they had eaten up the grain which they had bought from Egypt, that their father said to them, All right, well, you need to go buy some food. Yeah, well, I understand we're about to have the argument about Benjamin. I understand that, but we need some food, right? Like, I can't go to bed without my peanut. I gotta have some peanuts before I go to bed. You know, words and things. I don't even know if they had peanuts back in this time. They might not have had peanuts. So, did they have coffee? Maybe he could see about if they have coffee. I don't know. But if they had coffee, that's what I would be drinking. It is the one bad habit that I picked up from prison, by the way, drinking coffee. Because I never drank coffee before prison, and now I can't live without it. It is, the worst habit I picked up from prison. Although I can still chew tobacco. I don't like to chew tobacco, and Dustin really hates it, but I can do it. Yeah. Be like, chew tobacco, chew tobacco, spit. Like that song. Anyway, anyway. So Jacob wants them to go back and get some food. But Judah was like, but Benjamin. So if you send Jake with us, we'll all go down and buy some food. But if not, then we're not going. For her. Look, the guy was dead serious, and he has Simeon. And he thinks we're spies. I mean, who the fuck would want to spy on a land that doesn't have anything? But okay. And then, well, now it calls him Israel, but normally it's calling him Jacob. So I'm not sure of the distinction why he's Jacob every time, but now this time he's Israel. And Israel, Jacob said, "Why did you deal wrongfully with me as to tell the man that you still had a brother?" And they were like, "Yeah, but he asked though." And then he asked, "Is your father still alive? And don't you have another brother?" And we told him yes and yes, because who are we to lie to this guy? We don't even know he's Egyptian. And he thought we were spies. Like, what did you want us to do, Dad? And then Judah said to Israel, his father Jacob, said, "Send the lad with me, and we will go, that we may live and not die. Both we, you, and also our little ones. I myself will be surety for him. From my hand you shall require him. If I do not bring him back to you and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. For if we had not lingered, surely by now we would have returned this second time." So if we weren't so lazy and arguing about this, it would have already been done. And their fathers said to them, "If it must be so, then do this. Take some of the best fruits and take some of the best fruits of the land in your vessel and carry down a present for the man, a little balm, a little money, spices, myrrh, pistachio nuts." Okay, so they did have nuts. They had pistachios and almonds. And take double money in your hand and take back in your hand the money that was returned in the mouth of your sacks. Perhaps it was an oversight. Take your brother also, and arise and go back to the man. And may God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may release your brother. And Benjamin, if I am bereaved, I am bereaved. Oh my God. This is so sad. Oh man. These motherfuckers, man. They really did his dad dirty. And Joseph is a fool for this. Like, he is, I don't even know. He is just doing the damn thing. So the men took the present and Benjamin, and they took double money in their hand, arose and went to Egypt, and they stood before Joseph. When Joe saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, take these men to my home and slaughter an animal and make ready, for these men will dine with me at noon. Then the man did as Joseph ordered, and the man brought the men also to Joseph's house. Oh my God, man. Now, they were super fucking scared because Egyptians don't eat with these terrible ass people because they're terrible ass people. And Egyptians knew better than to get involved with them. That's not what happened. That's what I'm saying happened. But the Egyptians do not eat with Das Yuden. Okay. So anyway, they were scared because again, they don't eat together. So they're going through every possibility of why they, every possibility of why they would be in this man's house. Okay. So when they drew near to the house, they told the guy about the extra money and the shit to buy food. But um but he's like, "No, it's fine. Your God and the God of your father has given you treasure in your sack. I had your money, and then I brought it, and then he brought, hold on, he said, oh yeah, bless you. I had your money and I gave it back to you. And then they brought out Simeon, who was perfectly fine. So the man brought the men to Joe's house and gave them water, and they washed their feet and gave their donkeys feed. Then they made the present ready for Joseph's coming at noon, for they heard that they would be eating bread there. And then when Joseph came home, they brought him the present, which was in their hand, and did the face thing. Then he asked them about how they were and how's their dad and is he alive? And they were like, yep, everything is fine. And then they did the face thing. Then he lifted his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, is this him? Uh, is this him? Now his heart yearned for his brother. So Joseph made haste and found somewhere to weep. And he went into his chamber and wept there. And then he washed his face and came out and restrained himself and said, "Let's eat. It's time to eat." So they set him a place by himself and them by themselves. And the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves because they don't hang out together because Dasyudin are an abomination. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked in astonishment at one another. Then he took servings to them, but Benjamin's serving was 5 times as much as theirs. So they drank and were merry with him. Dun, dun, dun. How many minutes are we at? 32. I thought I had a cigarette. I do. Okay. Yeah, we'll smoke this cigarette. And then I guess, do we want to do another chapter? 44 is kind of long, though. Okay. So, General Piggy, are you still here? I'm guessing he's probably asleep. Okay. Well, sleep, sweet little man. Somebody is having a hard time with their motorcycle. Okay. 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 And he commanded the steward, oh, chapter 44, by the way. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, "Fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and give each man his money back. Also, put my cup, the silver one, in the mouth of the youngest, and his grain money." So he did um, he did according to what Joe had said. And as soon as the morning dawned, the men were sent away, they and their donkeys. When they had gone out of the city and were not yet far off, Joseph said, "Go get them. Go overtake them. Just go get them. Scare the piss out of them." Because everybody needs a good jump scare. So, just surround them and scare the piss out of them. It'll be a good time. This is what these motherfuckers get. Don't feel bad for them. They sold me into slavery. Fuck these guys for this one time. They deserve it. So, they go and do that. And so they overtake them and they're like, "Why did you do this thing like steal the cup?" And Judah, what was it? Judah said, um, hold on. And he said, "Why did you steal my shit?" Hold on. And then he spoke these and said, so, okay, he's like, It doesn't say who said it. Okay. So why did you sell this silver cup? So he overtook him, and he said to them these words. And then they said to him, okay, we didn't steal nothing for you. Are you kidding? You guys gave us our shit back. And then you gave us our shit back. And then we brought it back to you every time. So why would we steal from you? Seriously. Why would we steal from you? We're not going to steal from you. That's crazy. It's crazy to steal from you. And the guy's like, well, if we don't find anything, you go your way. But if we find something, you come back and be our slave. And then they were like, okay, whatever you say. Uh, no, he said, okay, whatever. Wherever it's found, they will be the slave, and you shall be blameless. Then each man speedily let down his sack to the ground, and each opened. So he searched. He began with the oldest and went down to Benjamin's sack. Then they tore their clothes, and each man loaded his donkey and returned to the city. Dun dun dun. This is going to be crazy. Okay. So Judah and his brothers came to Joe's house, and he was still there. And they did the face thing to him. And Joe said, what deed is this you have done? Why did you steal from me? Then Judah said, what are we going to say? What shall we say? Or how shall we clear ourselves? God has found the iniquity of your servants. Here we are, my Lord's slaves, both we and also with him that the cup was found. But he said, far be it from me that I should do so. The man in whose hand the cup was found will be my slave. And as for you, go back to your father. Oh my God. Then Judas said, no, 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 no. This can't happen. This cannot happen. Do not let your anger burn against your servant, for you are even like Pharaoh. My Lord asked his servants, saying, do you have a father and a brother? And we told you, yeah. And then you made us go get him. So it's kind of indirectly your fault. Bring him down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then you told us, okay. So it was when we went up to your servant, my father, that we told him what you said. And our father said, go buy us some food. And we were like, we can't go unless Ben is with us. Then we will go. For we may not see the man's face unless he's with us. Then your servant, my father, said, you know that my wife bore me two sons. The one went out from me, and I said, "Surely he is torn to pieces, and I have not seen him since. But if you take this one also, and calamity befalls him, you shall bring down my gray hair with sorrow to the grave." And that's what my dad said to me. Now, therefore, when I come, your servant, my father, and the lad is not with us, since his life is bound up in the lad's life, it will happen when he sees he's not with us, he's gonna die. So your servants will bring down the gray hair of my father with sorrow to the grave. For your servant became surety for the lad to my father, saying, "If I do not bring him back to you, then I shall bear the blame before my father forever. Now, therefore, please let your servant remain instead of the lad as a slave to my lord, and let the lad go up with his brothers. For now I shall go to my father if the lad is not with me. Perhaps I see the evil that would come upon my father." Damn. He's like, "Listen, there's like a whole story, and my dad is gonna die because whatever just happened happened. Yeah, you can't do that. Just take me instead." Because, and did you notice Judah just went with the tearing Joseph apart thing narrative? Joseph was torn apart. Just kind of skipped over that a little bit. Just like my dad said he was tore apart, and so he was tore apart. Yeah, that's what happened to my other brother that I'm not talking to, but okay. Yeah, we're gonna end right there, and we'll hit up 45 tomorrow. Yeah, we'll head up 45 tomorrow because I've been up way super early for no real reason today. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in there and go to bed because I'm tired as shit. So, everyone, it's time to give the pillows some head and the sheets some ass and have the sweetest dreams ever. I love you so much. Good night, General Piggy. I love you also. Thanks for coming. And I hope you enjoyed that story. Good night.